is Al Crespo. I live at 689 Northeast 92nd Street, Miami Shores.
Morning.
I wish that I could say that I was surprised or shocked when I was informed about what Mr. Morowski had said regarding my complaint. But you know, for 4 years, I've been coming before you complaining about Mr. Morowski's abuse of my complaints, making up statements I didn't make, refusing to tell you statements I did make. You know, I've written about it. The Ethics Commission needs to be independently investigated for ethics violations, was one of them. Here's how the Commission's advocate, Michael Morowski, cooks a complaint. And my personal favorite, I knew child molesters in prison who showed more ethical integrity than Michael Morowski. Now you might be offended at that and say, oh my God, how dare you compare the august advocate for the Commission with a child molester. But I am a citizen. I made a complaint. He is supposed to represent my interests fairly, openly, and accurately. When he tells you, well, we're not sure of what Mr. Crespo meant, as Mr. Melton said, he could have called me. He could have emailed me. He certainly has never found it a problem to email me in the past. He's emailed me on a number of occasions to tell me when I was wrong and when I shouldn't do this and when I should take an ethics complaint someplace else. And you know, as bad as his behavior is, it's really your behavior that's the problem. Because if anybody who ever listens to the audio tapes of your meetings, you all have one responsibility: to show up here once a month for a half a day and to read the documents that are provided to you before you show up. Yet in tape after tape of meetings that I have heard questions raised by board members that clearly indicate that they never read the documents that were presented to them before the fact. You didn't read the documents that you were presented in this case, because if you had, on page 1 of my complaint, you would have clearly seen that I had said BB, that I had been very specific about what I alleged that the mayor had not done. Nobody ever raised that. You never asked Mr. Morowski, well, if you're confused, did you contact Mr. Crespo? Or did you challenge him when he misquoted exactly what I had claimed the mayor had done? That's a huge problem. I've been at this for 4 years. Now I know some of you don't like me, but that's tough. I'm a citizen. I'm a taxpaying citizen. I pay property taxes. And I'm entitled to have the same respect and the same treatment that everybody else who comes before you gets. And the fact that I can document and have documented repeated instances of where I have filed complaints against various public officials, and the advocate for your organization has lied, has misrepresented what I have said, has not bothered to investigate what I have said, and to be as blatant at this case, you're right, you know, if it wasn't for my complaint, the mayor of Miami-Dade County would still not have ever filed that form that he was supposed to file. That's a clear violation of the ethics law. And it took my complaint because he was not confused. Now, he might have thought that I was confused, but the mayor was never confused. 7 days after he saw my complaint, he filed that report. And he had that thing notarized. Because there was no confusion in his mind what I was alleging. But clearly it was a confusion in all your mind. You know, and I think that you all really need to start either addressing this or make the determination that because all of you never go after the big fish, you go after the outliers. You go after the people in Medley and Opelika and whatever. You know, I filed numerous complaints against the mayor of Miami for taking trips all over the world. Oh, but we gave him a letter of instruction. Oh, but the city attorney told him it was okay. You know, the last time I did it, I wrote you all and told you that the assistant city attorney who had supposedly been told had advised the mayor, wasn't even an employee of the city during the time that he was supposed to have advised the mayor. He got fired. He was fired, and No problem, Mr. Mayor. You know, you all keep cutting these people loose, the family and friends plan. You all don't do after the real people, and then what are you going to do with this guy? Oh, Mr. Russo, you violated the law. Well, we're going to find you probable cause, but we're dismissing the complaint. We're not even going to charge you $500. We're not even going to charge you $100, right? It's always, oh, we find probable cause, we dismiss. You know, what kind of crap is that?
Mr. Crespo.
That's why
with
people
all due
don't have
respect,
any
we've
faith
given
in
Some
you.
additional time,
Yeah, I know.
but I do appreciate
I
it.
would like to say one thing in closing. You know, Judge, you never seem to want to let the truth get in the way of your crap. There ain't nobody standing behind me here to talk to you, and this is a public issue that's of real importance. You have shown a nastiness and a bad attitude from the very first day you became a member of this board. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself, because you were a judge for 23 years and you violated the
Mr.
Sunshine
Crespo,
Law.
this is out of order.
Mr. Crespo, I wasn't even here at the last meeting.
No, but you were here when you violated the Sunshine Law in the Carollo case.
Anyone else from the public wish to make any statements?
Mr. Chairman, I promised you copies of my notes and I forgot to leave them with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
For
Knight.
the record, after that tirade, I will recuse myself in the future. Any matter in which Mr. Crespo's name appears. So you're down to 3 commissioners. If there's no other commissioner sitting here that wants to do the same thing, you won't have a case heard here because there's no provision for less than a quorum.
I would expect no less from somebody who doesn't believe in the law.
That's good.
Thanks,
Sir,
Judge.
You are an arrogant, rude, obnoxious individual. I did not deserve what you just did to me. At all.
You deserve everything that's done to you.
No, please.
You know what?
Please, Mr. Crespo, please.
I'm out of here today. No, I am out of here today. Probably will resign from being on this commission. I don't have to take this abuse in public from that, considering everything that's gone on in my life in the last month. My house nearly burned down. My child almost got burned to death. My dog died. I don't need to listen to you come in here and tell me that I don't know how to do my job.
Let's take a 5-minute break, please.